Well, hi everyone. My name is Jeff Bartley and I'm a solutions architect here at AWS, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about some new features that we've launched around our hybrid cloud, edge computing, and data transfer services. Now, specifically, we're going to talk about 4 of our services today. The first service we're going to talk about is AWS Storage Gateway, which is a hybrid cloud storage service that helps our customers bridge their on-premises environments with storage in the cloud. We're then going to talk about AWS Data Sync, which is an online data transfer service that helps our customers migrate and move their data between their on-premises environments and AWS cloud storage. We're then going to talk about AWS Transfer Family, which is a fully managed service that provides SFTP, FTP, and FTPS protocol access to data stored in Amazon S3. And finally, we're going to wrap up by talking about AWS Snow Family, which is a series of products that allows our customers to both move their data and do computing at the edge. So let's get started with AWS Storage Gateway. So we launched Storage Gateway back in 2012 because we were looking to solve one of the challenges that our customers were having around hybrid cloud storage. Specifically, what our customers were looking to do was that they wanted to take advantage of the virtually unlimited cloud storage that AWS provides, but they didn't want to make changes to their applications. They wanted to continue running them on premises. And so Storage Gateway was built to help them solve this specific challenge. Storage Gateway integrates with a number of our services, including Amazon S3, Amazon S3 Glacier and Glacier Deep Archive, as well as Amazon EBS for block storage and AWS Backup. Storage Gateway utilizes a local cache to provide low latency access to data that's accessed frequently, and it provides standard storage protocols for accessing that data. Protocols such as NFS, SMB, iSCSI, and iSCSI VTL. Now, you deploy Storage Gateway as either a virtual machine on premises in a VMware, KVM, or Hyper-V environment, or it can also be deployed as a pre-configured hardware appliance. Now, as our customers begin their cloud journey, we often see them starting with simple workloads, things like moving their backup storage into the cloud. Our customers start here because it's a simple and easy way for them to get started utilizing the storage that AWS provides. And as they begin to use the cloud more, their applications begin to modernize, and they begin to look for ways to move more of their storage into the cloud while still being able to access it on premises. And then with more of their data in the cloud, customers are finding that they're generating more data in the cloud, and they want to be able to access that data on premises using low latency mechanisms. Now, regardless of where our customers are in their cloud journey, Storage Gateway is designed to help them at every step along the way. Now, Storage Gateway deploys in one of 3 modes. The first of these is File Gateway. And using a file gateway, you can set up NFS or SMB shares that are backed by your S3 buckets. And as you write data to these file shares, the data is then uploaded into S3 and it's stored as native objects. And this is really a really cool feature because our customers are able to write the data into the file gateway, and then they're able to continue to work with that data in S3. So the second mode that Storage Gateway deploys in is Volume Gateway mode. And as a Volume Gateway, Storage Gateway presents data as iSCSI block storage LUNs. And customers can use these to back their application servers, for example. And Volume Gateway provides the ability to create snapshots of your iSCSI volumes in the cloud as EBS snapshots. Volume Gateway also integrates with AWS Backup, so our customers can schedule their snapshots and manage their snapshots from one central location. And then finally, the third mode that Storage Gateway deploys in is Tape Gateway. Tape Gateway is a drop-in replacement for physical tape infrastructure. So I work with a lot of customers who are, frankly, they're just tired of managing all, and they're looking for a way to maintain their existing backup workflows, but get rid of all that physical tape overhead. And Tape Gateway is a perfect way to solve this particular challenge. So with Tape Gateway, you deploy it. It works with all of the standard backup software that's out there on the market today. But instead of storing data on physical tapes, as your backup software writes to Tape Gateway, it's storing data on virtual tapes, and are then archived to Glacier or Glacier Deep Archive for long-term retention and low-cost but durable storage. Okay, so we're going to talk about 4 new features that we launched on Storage Gateway on Storage Day today. And the first of these is a 4x increase in the local cache capacity to Tape and Volume Gateway. Now, back in July, we launched the ability to support up to 64 terabytes of cache capacity on File Gateway, and we're excited to be able to extend that same volume and Tape Gateway. And this gives our customers a number of benefits. The first is that it gives them low latency access to larger working data sets. It also gives them the ability to better handle situations where maybe they have limited network bandwidth, where they need a larger buffer to be able to hold data while it's uploaded in the background up into AWS. For Volume Gateway customers, larger cache means you can store more volume data in cache and get lower latency access to that data. For our Tape Gateway customers, this really helps them in restoring backups. So as your backup software writes data to the Tape Gateway, it's stored in the local cache and then uploaded in the background up into AWS. So that means that if you want to be able to restore your most recent backup, you can restore it a lot more quickly because it'll read it directly out of the local cache on the Tape Gateway. So we also want to talk about being able to configure the network bandwidth that's utilized by Tape and Volume Gateway. So Storage Gateway uses the network of your local network to upload data up into AWS and pull down data. And of course, I work with a lot of customers who in some cases need to limit how that network bandwidth is used by Volume and Tape Gateway. So this new feature gives our customers the ability to schedule that bandwidth. So they can set bandwidth limits on weekdays or weekends, and they can control both the upload and download rate of how that bandwidth is used. And so you can imagine that you could have some use cases where you want to run your backups in the evening and you want to open up more network capacity to Tape Gateway to do that, but you want to limit your network capacity during the day so that your business processes aren't interrupted. That's what this feature is designed to do. And you can see from this screenshot here what the user interface looks like. You can see you have control over both upload and download rates. You can also control the start and end times, and you can set it on a per day basis, or you can set it on weekdays or on weekends, giving you a lot of flexibility about how you want to schedule your network usage. Okay, so we've talked about 2 features for Volume and Tape Gateway. I now want to talk about 2 new features that we launched for File Gateway. Now, if you've managed Windows servers, you're probably familiar with this feature, which is access-based enumeration. I mentioned earlier that File Gateway allows you to create NFS or SMB shares, and this particular feature, access-based enumeration, is available on SMB shares. And what it does is it really provides 2 benefits to your users. The first is that it limits what they can see, so they can only see the files and folders that they have access to. So it gives them a minimal view of, and they can only see what they can access. And then secondly, it also prevents them from seeing perhaps file names or folder names that they shouldn't be seeing, stuff that they wouldn't be able to access anyways. And so using access-based enumeration, it gives your users a view of only the data that they can actually work with. Okay, and then this last feature is really exciting because it brings together a number of AWS capabilities that are unique to AWS and that you may not be able to do on your on-premises storage systems. So I mentioned earlier that the way the File Gateway works is that as you write data, as you write files to File Gateway, that data is stored in the local cache and then it's uploaded in the background up into S3. Well, some of our customers need to know when that file data is landed on Amazon S3. And that's what this feature is designed to give them. So when a file is uploaded and it lands in S3, a CloudWatch event will be triggered. And so if you're familiar with CloudWatch, you know that this opens up a world of possibilities. You can now call a Lambda function. You can trigger an SNS notification. You can start up a containerized application. You can start a batch job. There's just a whole lot of things now that you can do to build event-based workflows because of this. And so I think it's a really cool feature and gives you the ability to take advantage of a lot of the AWS services because of it. Now, all four of these features that we've discussed today for Storage Gateway are available immediately on new gateways. And existing gateways will get these features as part of a software update that will be coming out here shortly. Okay, so the next service we're going to talk about is AWS Data Sync. And AWS Data Sync is an online data transfer service that helps our customers simply, easily, and securely move their data from their on-premises environments up into AWS, or even between storage services inside of AWS. Data Sync comes built in with scheduling. It encrypts all data in flight and gives you the option to encrypt data at rest. It also verifies data byte for byte as it's traveling over the network, and also gives you the option to verify data at rest. And Data Sync also provides a number of capabilities to monitor and manage your data transfers as they're going. Data Sync is designed to be easy to use, to be fast, secure, and reliable. And at 1.25 cents per gigabyte of data transferred, it brings a lot of value at low cost. Now, we typically see customers using Data Sync for 4 use cases. The first of these is to migrate their active application data up into AWS. So a lot of our customers are moving their applications from their on-premises data centers up into AWS. And some of those applications use data that's in on-premises file shares or object storage, and Data Sync helps move that data up into the cloud. The second use case is for customers who have a lot of cold data on premises. And this is data that's just not accessed very often, but it's sitting on tier 1 storage. And they want to move that data up into the cloud to take advantage of the high durability and the low cost storage that AWS provides, and to free up some of that on-premises storage. And so they're using Data Sync to move that data off of their storage systems up into the cloud, freeing up on-premises storage capacity, and maybe even shutting down their on-premises storage entirely. The third use case is around protecting their data. So a number of customers that I work with are replicating their on-premises data up into AWS, and they may do this for disaster recovery purposes, or just because they want a second copy of their data off of their local data center or on-premises area. And then the fourth case is customers who want to be able to move their data up into the cloud for additional processing. So a good example is life sciences customers that I've worked with who have on-premises genome sequencers or instruments or other devices that are generating data on premises, oftentimes a lot of data, and they want to bring that data up into the cloud and to be able to process it further, maybe do some analysis on it, maybe even do some machine learning models on it. And then they want to bring the results of that analysis back on premises. And they're using Data Sync to both transfer the data up to the cloud, and then when they're done, to bring it back down on premises. Now, how do customers typically use Data Sync? Well, a lot of them get started by moving their data from their on-premises storage up into AWS. And Data Sync supports 3 AWS storage services today: Amazon S3, Amazon EFS, and Amazon FSx for Windows File Server. And when you're moving data from on-premises environments up into AWS, you typically deploy an on-premises agent. And that agent is a virtual machine that runs in VMware, Hyper-V, or KVM environments. And it connects to your on-premises storage using standard protocols, such as NFS, SMB, and the S3 for object storage systems that support that. Now, earlier this year, we launched the AWS Snow device, which is a small, rugged, portable system for collecting and storing and analyzing data outside of traditional data centers. Now, the cool thing about Snow is that it comes built in with the AWS Data Sync agent. So customers can write data onto their Snow devices, and then they can upload that data directly into the cloud without having to ship the device back to AWS. And I also have a lot of customers who are using Data Sync to copy data between their AWS managed storage services directly in the cloud. So this might be copying between EFS file systems, or copying data from FSX file systems in one region to an FSX for Windows file system in a second region. There are lots of ways that our customers are using DataSync in the cloud entirely. And then finally, we just released support for S3 on Outposts, which gives customers the ability to access data on their Outpost system using the same S3 APIs that they would for their in-region buckets. And using DataSync, customers can copy data between their S3 on Outpost storage and their buckets in AWS regions. Okay, so we're going to talk about two features that we've launched around DataSync on Storage Day. And the first of these is the ability to control the amount of network bandwidth that DataSync is using. So this is similar to the feature that we just talked about on Volume and Tape Gateway, a similar use case where we have customers who are using DataSync to migrate their data from their on-premises environments up into AWS, and they need to control how that network bandwidth is utilized. Now today, DataSync gives you the ability to set the bandwidth throttle on a per task basis, but once you set it, it's there for the life of the task. With this new feature, you can now adjust the bandwidth while a task is running. So for instance, you could create a CloudWatch rule that sets the bandwidth throttle at some point during the morning, during your business hours, and then at the end of the day, you can open up that network bandwidth back up to DataSync, and you can increase the throttle so that DataSync can move data faster. So it's a really cool feature. It gives customers the ability to be able to adjust the network bandwidth that their task is using. And the second feature is also a really cool one. So I mentioned earlier that customers are using AWS Data Sync to transfer data sometimes between their cloud storage services. And today, if you want to use DataSync to do that, you have to deploy an agent in the cloud. Well, this new feature removes that requirement and allows you to copy data between AWS managed storage services without any in-cloud infrastructure. So using this new feature, you can copy data between your EFS file systems or across regions. You can use it to make a second copy of your FSX for Windows file systems into another region. You can move data between S3 buckets, either all of the bucket or a portion of the bucket, or you can move data between your EFS or FSX file systems in S3, for instance, if you want to do data lake or data lakes or further processing. But the really cool feature here is that you can do it all with deploying any in-cloud infrastructure. It allows you to quickly get up and running and easily move data between your managed storage services. Okay, well, let's talk now about AWS Transfer Family. So AWS Transfer Family is a fully managed service that allows you to use SFTP, FTP, and FTPS protocols to store and access data in your S3 buckets. Now, if you're familiar with these protocols, you know that they're used across a lot of industries for exchanging data, sometime between third parties or even with individual business units. And AWS Transfer Family makes it really easy to migrate your on-premises or even file transfer servers that may be running in the cloud into AWS. And because your storage is in S3, it allows you to take advantage of all of the service that AWS has to derive greater business value from that data. So this could be like analytics or machine learning or further computational capabilities. Now, AWS Transfer provides a number of key benefits. The first of these is that it's a fully managed service that is highly available across up to 3 availability zones. And if you've ever tried to build a highly available file transfer server, you know that it's a lot of work and it's a lot of overhead to manage. And in this case, AWS Transfer Family takes care of all of that for you by being a fully managed service. It scales on demand to meet the performance needs of your applications and users, and it can support up to thousands of concurrent users at one time. AWS Transfer Family is designed for easy, seamless migration. And this is really important because a lot of our customers, their file transfer workflows are being run 24 hours a day, and they want to minimize the disruption to their customers and their third parties that they're exchanging data with. And AWS Transfer enables this in a number of ways. It allows you to bring in your own host keys, to bring your own IP addresses and host names, and it also enables you to use the same authentication mechanisms that you're using today in your own self-managed file transfer servers. Security is our top priority here at AWS, and of course, AWS Transfer Family was built to be secure. And we do this through a number of mechanisms. We provide IP address filtering. We also support VPC endpoints for the ability to lock down access to your Transfer Family servers. We have SOC, PCI, HIPAA, and FISMA compliance. And we're also available in a number of US regions that are critical to some of our US customers. And finally, AWS Transfer Family integrates with a number of key services here at AWS. I mentioned that it stores data in Amazon S3. It also integrates with CloudWatch and CloudTrail for logging and monitoring. And it integrates with Lambda and with API Gateway to be able to build your own custom authentication capabilities. Now, earlier this year, we launched support on AWS Transfer Family for VPC security groups, giving our customers more flexibility on how they can secure and lock down their AWS Transfer Family servers. Now, previously, when you deployed an AWS Transfer Family server, it used the default security group in the VPC that you specified. But with this new feature, it's much more flexible in how you specify which security groups you want to use. We now support shared and cross-account as well as peered VPCs. We support up to 5 security groups being applied to your AWS Transfer Family server, giving you a lot more flexibility in your shared VPC type environments, which we're finding to be much more common with a lot of our customers as they move to AWS. Okay, so last but not least, let's talk about the AWS Snow Family. So as more and more of our customers are moving their workflows and applications into AWS, they're doing so to take advantage of the scalability and flexibility that the cloud provides. But they're also bringing with them new and interesting use cases that are really challenging the idea of what a cloud application is. These are often applications that are running outside of what we consider the normal cloud and running on premises, but they're using things like IoT or robotics or running manufacturing applications or autonomous vehicles, applications that need to continue to run on premises but want to take advantage of the cloud storage services and other services that AWS provides. Now, we're specifically going to talk about 2 products in this area today, AWS Snowcone and AWS Snowball Edge, which are designed to help our customers both store, process, and collect data at the edge and then do computation on that data. So the AWS Snow family has evolved over time. It first started with the Snowball device, which was designed to help our customers transport large amounts of data offline up into AWS. And as the service evolved, we found a growing need for our customers to not only store data on these devices, but to also analyze it out in the field or in other areas where customers may have minimal network connectivity. And so that has grown to our Snowball Edge and our Snowcone devices, which give customers the ability to do computation on that data as they collect it. So I mentioned earlier that we launched the Snowcone device earlier this year, which gives our customers the ability to store data. You can store up to 8 terabytes of data onto a single Snowcone device, and then it comes built in with the DataSync agent. So customers can then transfer their data online up into AWS without having to ship the Snowcone device back to AWS. And the Snowcone device complements Snowball Edge, which is a larger device, but it's designed to do similar things. And Snowball Edge comes in both a storage optimized configuration as well as a compute optimized configuration. And customers are using Snowball Edge not only to transport their data, but to do analysis on their data as well as like machine learning and other workflows at the edge of the cloud. So let's talk about 2 specific features to Snowball Edge that enhance the computing capabilities that those devices provide. Now, the first of these features gives customers the ability to import their virtual machines onto the device while it's on site. Prior to this feature, customers needed to order a new device if they wanted to change their virtual machine running on the device. And now customers can upload their machine images directly onto the device while it's on site. They don't have to send the unit back or order a new one. And this is really cool because it allows customers to iterate more quickly on their processes and it allows them to respond to issues more quickly as they arise in the field. Now, related to this feature is a new feature that we launched that allows customers to run Windows operating systems on the Snowball Edge, to import virtual machines running Windows onto a Snowball Edge device. Specifically, we're supporting Windows 2012 and Windows 2016 virtual machine images. And customers can either load these images at the time that a Snowball Edge device is ordered, or they can load these images onto the device using the feature that I just talked about previously. Okay, and with that, let's go ahead and do a recap of the things that we've talked about today. So first, we talked about AWS Storage Gateway. We talked about 4 specific features that we launched on Storage Gateway. The first was increasing the cache capacity on volume and tape gateways up to 64 terabytes of cache capacity. The second feature that we launched was the ability to schedule how volume and tape gateway utilize network bandwidth available to them. We then talked about access-based enumeration on file gateway SMB shares and how that helps limit the files and folders that a user can see when they log into an SMB share. And finally, we talked about the file upload notification event that File Gateway now supports that helps customers build event-driven workloads to respond to data as it's written to the File Gateway. We then talked about AWS Data Sync and how it's helping customers to now control how their network is utilized by a particular data sync task. Customers can now configure the bandwidth used by data sync while the task is running. We also talked about how customers can now copy data between AWS managed storage services without deploying any in-cloud infrastructure, giving customers the ability to more quickly move data and respond to their own event-driven workflows in the cloud. We then talked about AWS Transfer Family and the new flexibility around security groups, allowing our customers to be able to use security groups from cross-account VPCs or shared or peered VPCs, and giving them the ability to be more flexible in how they secure their VPC-based AWS Transfer Family servers. And then we finished up with talking about AWS Snow Family and how we've increased some of the capabilities around edge computing, specifically giving our customers the ability to import their own virtual machine images while the device is on site, as well as now being able to take advantage of Windows 2012 and Windows 2016 virtual machines directly on the Snowball Edge device. So I hope you've learned something today about our hybrid cloud, edge computing, and data transfer services. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today, and I hope you have a great day.